Coach Brooks, heading into this season, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm just looking forward to the journey. I mean, I think every year when the season starts, we've got a group of players who are coming together for the first time as a group. You know, we add a couple of new players, and everyone has growth and maturity as they age and get older and get more experience. So, you know, this is the first time that this group is going to go through a season together. And as a coach, I think the best part of my job is to help guide that team through their journey, whatever that looks like, the peaks and the valleys and, you know, all the stuff in between. And, you know, at the end of it, we're going to look back and, you know, we evaluate ourselves in our program about, did we do the best job of getting our team to be their best? That group of players, did they play at their best, you know, at the end of the year? And that's really what it's all about. So the journey is always the best part of it. And the journey started already with preseason practice where, you know, we were a couple of weeks away from our first game. You know, the most enjoyable part of it all for me is just seeing how our players grow from freshmen, learning how to go about their business as a college basketball player and going through their first year in that journey, and then seeing them grow as sophomores, juniors, seniors, and fifth year seniors. And it really is a special thing to be a part of, that transformative year, the transformative years of college basketball, and to feel like we've got a part in it. That's the special part for me.
You talk about this group. What do you like most about your team this year?
I love coaching them. I mean, they are a great group to coach. I think they genuinely play for each other. I think they've got a good understanding that they're all in this together. We're all on the same team. We're all working for a common goal and to accomplish a common mission. And when that's the mindset and that's the starting point, I think the team that you get to coach, it's usually a pretty rewarding experience. And I absolutely love coaching this team in practice. I love hanging around them. They're great people. They're different. They've got different points of views, different personalities, different backgrounds, different experiences that they're bringing to the table. But man, they're all great young women. And for us to have a chance to be around them and just really pour into them, invest in them, and give them the resources they need to do the best at, you know, in the classroom, on the basketball court, have impact as engaged citizens of our campus, our community, spiritual growth, all those things that we talk about in our program. You know, that's really the best part of it for me. And with this group, we've got a great group, and that's what I love about this team. Just love coaching them.
You talk about that common mission, and I'm sure that part of that is being successful. What is one important thing that must happen for your team to have that success?
Well, we talk daily about just trying to perform to our standards, and that we've got standards and expectations within our program, and it's a daily goal. I think a lot of teams and a lot of programs get wrapped up in goals, holistic team goals and success and achievement. But for us, it's a lot more about the day to day, you know, what we've got to do to live up to our standards today, because ultimately today is the only day we have control over. Tomorrow, and as we learned last year, going through a season in the middle of a pandemic, tomorrow is not promised. So we just try to make the most of the day that we're given, and the standards that we have in our program. We try to live up to those and hold each other accountable to those standards. So you know, that's kind of what success looks like for us. And you know, if we do that every day, we're going to have a lot more good days than bad days.
Now, off of that, what do you feel or see as your biggest challenge for the upcoming season?
I think always a challenge for any team is finding our identity, finding what we're good at. And, you know, some teams you can figure that out really quickly. And going into the first game, you have a pretty good idea what your team's going to be and how we're going to play and what we're going to look like and how we're going to be our best. And other years it's February before that really takes shape. So I think the biggest challenge for this group is we've got a lot of talented players. We probably, our greatest challenge is also maybe our greatest strength, in that we've got a lot of really talented players. We've got a lot of depth, but figuring out how to put those pieces together and play the right combinations, play the right styles with the right people on the floor, to put those players in position to have success when they do play. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for this group. And, I think like any year, staying healthy is a huge deal. And whether that's physical health or if it's, mental health, I think is really important, especially coming off of last year. I think there's still a lot of players and coaches that are struggling through some mental health stuff. And that's something that we take seriously in our program, and we try to provide resources and support for that. But those are big keys for us, staying healthy and being in a good place physically, mentally. And then, the challenge of figuring out how to work with the pieces that we've got. We've got a lot of pieces to work with.
Now, taking a look at the entire conference, what are your general impressions on the OVC for this upcoming season?
Well, I think it's going to be one of the most competitive league races that we've been a part of. I think the Tennessee Tech returning, basically their whole roster and, a couple of additions and a lot of experience. I made a joke earlier. We've been playing against the same players for my whole time here, and this is my 5th year. And this is really the same core group of players that were freshmen my first year. So they've got a ton of experience. They've played a ton of college basketball at a really high level, and they're really talented. Tennessee Martin is an unbelievably well-coached team that's got really competitive, tough kids in their program, and they're always good. They're going to reload. They've lost Chelsea Perry to the WNBA, one of the best players in the history of the OVC. So they've got a lot to replace there, but they've also got a lot of players that are going to be more than capable of taking the reins of that program. And, I can go on the list. Murray State returns a ton of talent. They're going to be extremely competitive. They beat us on our home court last year in the middle of the season. SEMO is a really well-coached team. I think Rika does an incredible job with her players and getting her team, putting them in position to have success. Austin Peay is unbelievably talented. Moorhead is a new program, a new coaching staff that's going to have a lot of new faces on that roster. I know Sam Quigley-Smith at SIU Edwardsville, and I know how competitive and how good she is as a coach and how good she was as a player. I got to coach her when I was an assistant at Paul, so I know firsthand how good she is at what she does. And I know that program is going to be competitive and tough. Coach Belmont does a great job at Eastern Illinois. Those kids always play hard. He's a great basketball coach. So it's a challenge anytime you play those guys. And, I think Tennessee State across the street, my guy, Ty, Coach Evans, he's done an incredible job of, I think, shifting a mindset in that program. And I think that's going to be a lot different team than we've seen here in the past. So incredible variety of styles, of different kinds of players we're going to have to play against, different coaches with different ways of using their players. And I think it's going to be one of the best league races that we've had in recent history.